Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So this is an ASMR video meant to relax you and help you sleep, which is why sometimes I'm gonna be whispering. I really like this book, All Countries, Capitals and Flags of the World. And in today's sleepy, relaxing geography video, I'm going to explain to you what the UK is and what it is not. And I'm going to clarify a couple of the terms such as Great Britain, the British Isles, United Kingdom, England, and just clarify them all, okay? So, if it's not sleepy and relaxing, at least it'll be a little bit interesting and informative. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna just look at the facts of two key countries first. We're going to look at United Kingdom and, curiously, at Ireland, because I want to explain what the United Kingdom is and what it isn't and what it's sometimes accused of being. So we need to know Ireland as well as the United Kingdom in order to explain this fully and debunk some misunderstandings. Breathe if you're Irish and you just went, why did you say that in the same breath of United Kingdom? No, I'm trying to clarify something that is very commonly misunderstood, particularly in the UK, actually, because people in the UK get confused about what Ireland is. So, I used to be a Spanish teacher. Today I'm going to be your geography teacher. Okay, so, country, United Kingdom. We can see here, we're going to have a look at the flag. There's a page for that at the back. I'll explain that to you in a bit. Country, United Kingdom. Capital, London. Area in kilometres squared, 244,820. With a population of 68.2 million. In the context of Europe, depending whether or not you include the whole population of Russia, I don't have, and I haven't seen figures for the European section of Russia, so if you don't include Russia, because we can't be certain about the exact population of the European portion of that federation, the UK is quite high up in terms of population stats. Very quickly, off the top of my head, I think Germany is the most with 84.3. France is going to be second or third with 66.1. No coincidence that these are also two of the larger countries. Italy with 60 million is right up there as well. And then it sort of drops a bit, because in terms of land mass, Ukraine is one of the largest countries in Europe, but it's actually 43. And people would assume that Spain is a large country, but actually, compared to its land mass, it only has a population of 46 million. I was looking at this recently to find out the most spoken languages in the EU, and rather surprisingly, because only one country speaks Spanish in Europe, it just scrapes in above Ukrainian speakers with regard to overall speakers in Europe. So yeah, okay. So England, here I go. United Kingdom is actually more than Italy and France, so it's second. Just making sure I've not missed any obvious ones here. 10 million, 5 million, 4. Yeah. Sweden's 10, Portugal's 10, Netherlands is 17 million, and Greece is 11. Anywhere else? I think that's most of the larger countries. Romania 19. Yeah. Okay, just check overleaf. No. Okay. I want us to have Ireland, also known as the Republic of Ireland, as a reference point. So, capital is Dublin. Area in kilometres squared is 70,273. Population 4.9 million. Pretty flag. Okay, so let's talk all things UK. So there are several terms that we need to explain and discuss. They are firstly the United Kingdom. What is the United Kingdom? Okay, so I'm going to explain. The United Kingdom is exactly what it says. It's a kingdom, so we have a monarchy, and it's united because there are actually 4 separate countries within the country itself. So this is slightly different to the concept of the United States of America, the territories in Canada, the states in Brazil, the republics in Russia, because these are actual countries. They are countries within countries, and this is represented, this is sort of heightened at football and rugby, because each has its own footballing and rugby. Well, these 3 have a rugby nation. Ireland's a bit more difficult to explain. They actually play with the Republic of Ireland in rugby. I'm not sure how that came about, or whether it was always that way and it just didn't change. I don't know the history of that. But in football, each has its own football team. Okay, so doing the same for these, you've got England with the famous red and white flag. Capital is London, so note that England's capital is also the capital of the United Kingdom. Area in kilometres squared is 130,279, and the population is 57 million. So I think it was 66 off the top of my head. Just want to double check. What was that page? 68. 68.2. Okay, so we can see that actually the majority of the population and the capital of England is that of the United Kingdom, so it has by far the largest population and shares the capital. Next we've got Scotland. It does have a famous flag. It's got this lovely white cross with a blue background. Country, Scotland. Capital, Edinburgh. Lots of people think it's Glasgow, but I think Glasgow is the larger city. Edinburgh is the capital. 77,933 kilometres squared. So, it's not half, it's just over half the size of England, but in terms of geographical, there are a lot more islands, and islands in Scotland than there are in England. Population 5.4 million. So around the same size as, say, Denmark, for example. Okay, and then we've got this. This is my country. This iconic flag with the white sky, red, green grass, and the red dragon, of course, the red dragon, which comes from Welsh mythology. And if you're wondering if the flag is the right way, the bum faces England, because Wales is there and England's there, so it's got to be facing left. So we are waving at Ireland and our bum is towards England, because I've seen it flown the wrong way. And lastly, Northern Ireland, capital Belfast, and the area is 14,130 kilometres square, population is 1.8 million. So it's done in order. England by far the largest in terms of population and landmass, and then going down in size, because so there are areas of England that are mountainous, agreed, but there are lots of flat areas of England as well, far less so in Scotland, Wales, and to an extent Northern Ireland as well. There's lots of lovely coastline though. Okay, to explain the flag of the United Kingdom, we have the English flag, and then we merge it with the Scottish flag and the old Irish flag when, I think, and feel free to give me a comment, this might have been the flag of the whole of Ireland when the English invaded, I'm not sure. So when this flag was created, maybe in the 19th century, something like 18 something. So at that time, Ireland, this is why we looked at Republic of Ireland earlier on, Ireland was actually invaded and was under control of England, the whole of the island of Ireland. And then when they decide, well, there was a war, and they kept the northern part for complicated reasons that I'm not going to go into in this video. So at the time, disgracefully, Wales wasn't considered to be a country. I mean, we had always been a country previously, but at that time I think we were called a principality, because, as you know, Prince William, and before him his father, the now King of England, King Charles, was Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. So the heir to the throne of England is, I'm hesitating because it really upsets me, gifted in Wales. And yeah, we were a principality only, so we were like the land of the prince of the heir of the throne. So we didn't get a flag. We didn't get our flag on here. So it was made up of England, Scotland and the occupied Ireland, and that's what made the Union flag. Oh yeah, there we are, 1801, so I was about 100 years out, but I was in the right century, 1801. Okay, so as you can tell, there's a lot going on here. So we're talking about invasions of Ireland, total ignorance of Wales having a separate culture and existing, so lots of awkward things going on here, and this is not taught in England. It's not on the British curriculum. Basically, I'm going to say this really carefully because I know I've got a lot of fantastic subscribers from Britain, mostly England. This should be on the curriculum, because I've had people talk to me and say, why do people from Ireland, Wales, Scotland have such a rivalry in sport and whatnot with England? I don't get it. We're all the same country, we're all United Kingdom, and it's due to the way in which we are a United Kingdom. It's kind of like, how North Korea is called the Democratic Republic of North Korea, but there's no democracy democracy whatsoever. It's a there is no voting, so it can't be democratic. In the same sense, this is called the United Kingdom, but it was united through invasion. Less so with Scotland. I sort of understand that there was a union between those two countries. And in fact, I think the King of Scotland might have gone down to be the King of England at one point, but I don't know. I dropped history so early, it was so boring. I love geopolitics, and this stuff interests me. Maybe I should have brushed up before I did this video. Yeah, so that's what the flag is. Okay, so what is England? England is technically just from there, the border with Scotland, where we have Hades Wall, and the border with Wales, where we have Offa's Dyke. So they had a wall and we had a ditch to separate the two countries, and they're there now. Still, there are lots of holidays where you can just walk across the whole thing. A friend of mine is thinking of doing it next summer. It's a long way, obviously, but yeah, you hike across the wall, or you hike across Offa's Dyke. So England is this part here. Okay. It should also be noted that Cornwall is down the bottom, and Cornwall is a county of England, but it has rich Celtic heritage. It had and is being revived a language which is the sister language of Welsh. So a very quick history lesson. Angles, Saxons and Jutes, Vikings, come across from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Germany, Saxony, Netherlands. They come across. Wales, at this point in time, went from about here all the way down, so that was Wales. Everything there, apart from this part here. I think there were people called the Picts in the north, and they were scary and we didn't bother with them. So, invasion, and then after a while, because they had a shared history and similar languages, they became England over time. And there is a fair divide between, I think the Danish were in the north, so that's the Daneland, and there are loads of Danish words still in dialect in this area. And then there's the middle part, and then the southern tip, and they joined to make England. And they attacked Wales because Wales, all the Welsh people sort of fled and went down there. So we went to Wales because it was easily defendable from the mountains that we've got. I was taught in school that we used to run down the mountains and fight, and then run away up the mountains, and they couldn't chase us because we didn't have armour, but they had heavy armour. This is like literal primary school history now. Yeah, and so we fended them off for 100 years. The rest of our clan went here to Cornwall, and just down here to Brittany in northwest France. So Welsh, Corniweg or Cornish, and Breton, Brejonic are related, closely related. I can understand. I was listening to someone speak on YouTube in Cornish, and I understood like half of what they were saying. And if you're interested, the Irish Celts, which they're a different tribe to us altogether, they went to the Isle of Man and Scotland. So Scottish or Scots Gaelic is an old form of Irish, and as is Manx, but obviously it died out, and I think again someone's trying to revive it. People are trying to speak it again, but it's a very weird version of both Gaelics, Scots Gaelic and Irish Gaelic. But they're the three languages from that side, that part of the Celtic tree, and we are the other side. So they're not mutually intelligible, but there are the odd words, and the grammar is almost identical, but there are not words. You can't understand each other at all. I lived with Irish people, and yeah, we used to just joke about it all the time that we had such different words for everything. But then weirdly, the way in which it fits into a sentence is identical. So yeah, learning Irish has been like okay for me because the grammar is like exactly the same. I just need to learn all the words. Okay, so Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. So yeah, England is this part. And clearly England invaded Wales. England sort of invaded, had a war, and then had a union with Scotland. And England invaded Ireland and sort of kept Northern Ireland at the end of it. And this part here, so this island is Britain. Now that's kind of important because Northern Ireland isn't Britain, it's Ireland. Okay, so lots of people get mixed up between the terms that we use, the United Kingdom, Britain, so this is Britain only, and it's named after the Celtic tribe of Wales, so they are Goidelic, we are Brythonic, so Brittany, Britain, so that's why Brittany is there, and in Irish, Wales is called Little Britain, and England is called Saxony because a lot of them came from Saxony in Germany. And we also say that English in Welsh, my language, we say that English is the language of Saxony, Saesneg. So yeah, the words that we both use to describe these people here is German, basically. We call them the Germans, Saxons. And this is Britain, but these are the British Isles. I can't remember if we ever include Ireland. Is that part of the British Isles? All these are though. The Scottish Islands. There's a weird relationship with the Isle of Man. It's I can't remember which one it's in. Whether it's in, I don't think it's the United Kingdom, but it's like a protectorate of England. I don't understand it, so it's weird. Yeah, like it's not part of the United Kingdom, but it does get governed by England. It's a very strange relationship. And then you've got a couple of islands down here, Guernsey and Jersey, which are extremely close to France, but again, they're ruled by England, but it's a weird relationship, and you can't move there unless you've got proof that your spouse was born there, and there's no tax and stuff. It's very strange. I'm just being very general with this, so if you want to fill in the gaps, because you know what I'm trying to say, please write a comment. I will really enjoy reading it and learning more. I'm not an expert at all, but this is Britain, these are the British Isles, this is United Kingdom. We often say Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So if we're talking about Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, we will use Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Again, there's all these different terms and they're all slightly different things. So maybe Great Britain, I don't remember which it includes, the Isle of Man. I'm going to look it up, hang on 2 seconds. Okay, I found one. So, Great Britain, as I said, or Britain as I just call it by short form, is just Scotland, England, Wales, not Northern Ireland, not Isle of Man, not the Channel Islands, but actually the islands of Scotland are included. Okay. United Kingdom, no Isle of Man, no Channel Islands, but we do include Northern Ireland. And the British British Isles is all of it. So, the Isle of Man and the Channel Islands are in the British Isles, and they do get governance to an extent from England and from Britain, but they're not included in the other terms. So yeah, that's Ireland. The island of Ireland is included in the term British Isles. Hope that clarifies my rambling. So yeah, I hope that sort of helps. So that summarises everything I was yabbering on about earlier on. But yeah, it's confusing even for us. So I hope that you understand a little bit better. And this is why there's such a strong sense of individualism and identity in places like Scotland and Wales, because we're not just, a county or a state or a territory. We are actually a country, and we had history well before England ever came to be. In fact, everyone from here to there, and a little bit further down, spoke Welsh for hundreds of years, thousands. So, yeah, that's why I'm so fiercely Welsh. I hope you found this video either totally boring and you're fast asleep, or relatively interesting. Maybe you're busy writing a comment if you're new to the channel and you're not too upset by my very vague explanation of this, then consider subscribing. But if you're writing a comment, thank you so much for that. I look forward to reading it. Yeah, and I will hopefully see you again